Dr. Kumar and the faculty members, my dear young friends, Namaskar, a very good evening to all of you. It gives me great pride to be here amongst the eager, imaginative and bright-eyed youngsters of one of the most prestigious institutions in the country, IIM Raipur, and my other young colleagues who have come from 23 countries. 30 such young friends have come and joined here. I welcome you all to the beautiful city of Raipur, and also the learned speakers who have joined us here today. I was mighty impressed to know that the oral in the logo of IIM Raipur depicts the traditional Bastar Dokra art, sun handicraft made out of metal of the tribals of Chhattisgarh that involves massive precision, practice and painstaking skill. I feel quite at home here in Chhattisgarh, the state which houses the country's widest waterfalls, caves, lush green forests, ancient monuments and rare wildlife exhibits, and curved temples, Buddhist sites, and so many beautiful places worth seeing. Chhattisgarh is situated in the heart of India and boasts of more than 80% of the biodiversity that is not found anywhere in the country. This state has 44% of the forest cover with 32% of total population of 32% of the tribal population. It is rich with minerals, forest, natural and local resources. This state is a major producer of energy and steel, and I am told the famous Kosa silk or the Tussar silk is also found here. Famously known as the rice bowl of India, Chhattisgarh is truly full of surprises. No wonder it is a magnet for nature enthusiasts who wish to explore unique tribal arts, crafts and traditions. In fact, 3 artists from Chhattisgarh who have dedicated their life for the art and culture of the state, that is, and they have been awarded as the Padma Shri Award. Pandavni singer Usha Barle, folk theatre legend Domar Singh Kumar and wood carving master Ajay Kumar Mandavi. Ajay ji, I just met one program before this here only. He has got a beautiful artwork to showcase to the world. My heartiest congratulations to 3 of them from the state who's got this prestigious award. My dear friends, today technology is bridging the gap and also giving us a lot of opportunities to showcase our talent, to come out with the solutions for various challenges the world is facing. And I'm sure many of you who are studying here at IIM Raipur or maybe in other parts of the country as well, who have joined here, will be looking at bringing out solutions to various challenges faced by from farmer to the other persons in this country. In the previous session which we had at the other university, there were many interesting questions we faced with and many such experiences many youngsters shared what they have done in the last couple of years since COVID-19 pandemic, how they have contributed towards the nation building process. So I'm looking forward for you to listen to your experiences also. As youth are leveraging the disruptive technology to stay ahead of the curve and find local solutions to global socio-economic problems. No distance, difference or boundary has stopped Indian youth from driving social change as well as steer Fortune 500 companies with a lot. This vigor, vitality and vibrancy of our youth is unmatched. I have said it before and I will reaffirm it today. Young people are the stakeholder in the present and are builder of tomorrow. Since the youth will inherit the future they build, it is imperative that the world pay heed to their words and provide a meaningful platform to channelize their emotions, energy and actions. As you are aware that India is hosting this prestigious G20 summit, we are lucky to have Y20 as the engagement group, and that brings us together here to talk about the 5 key areas what we have shortlisted. I'll come on that as well. But at the Y20 summit, India will not only speak but also provide an audience to the youth across the world to be heard in the world's largest democracy, amongst those young leaders geared up with the baton to the future. And it is my belief that in a complex world riddled with challenges, our theme of the G20 as well as the Y20, our long-standing Virasat of Vasudev Kutumbakam, that is one earth, one family, one future. We have lived up to that during the pandemic time, when the large economies, the developed countries who could have afforded to help small nations to come out of this situation, provide them vaccines and all that. Whereas they failed, India, where the others did not expect, India has supplied medicines and vaccines to more than 150 countries in the world. That is why, as we said, Vasudev Kutumbakam. And when we listen to the experiences when our foreign ministers or other ministers who travel abroad, when the head of the nations come and say, please thank Prime Minister Modi from our side, because during the COVID-19 pandemic, when we are looking at others to help, nobody came forward. He saved our nation. So it is not only India where Prime Minister Modi and his government provided 2.2 billion vaccinations free of cost, but also provided close to 30 million vaccines to our neighbors to come out of this challenging situation. Look at the Sri Lanka crisis, look at the other crises in the neighborhood. We have always come forward to help others. Gone are the days when we used to seek help. कभी हम मदद मांगने वाले थे, आज भारत मदद देने वालों में सबसे आगे है, यही फर्क है. And you can see it example after example. Look at the Nepal earthquake. It was the India who was the first responder. Look at Ukraine-Russia war. We started Operation Ganga and saved lives of 21,000 Indian students in that war zone. We brought them out and we brought them back home safely. And not only that, more than 174 students from 28 nations have been they've been saved by the Indian government officials, and to their rescue, anyone can guess what helped them? Anyone? You're right. The Indian flag, they were looking for Indian flag to say that we are Indian so that they could walk out of the war zone. I would like to say these 2 lines in Hindi because it is with my experience what I have shared in India in 2011. 2010, there was a stone pelting in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. More than 3,000 soldiers got injured. There was a great demand for greater autonomy for the state of Jammu and Kashmir because there was Article 370 and 35A implemented in that state special status. When I raised the voice for our armed forces, when I raised the voice for our country, and I did a yatra from Calcutta to Kashmir, I passed through majority of the states of this country, demanding to hoist the national flag in Kashmir at Lal Chowk. और लाल चौक पर मैं 2011 में तिरंगा फहराने 12 जनवरी से 26 जनवरी की 14 दिन की यात्रा पर गया. किसी राज्य में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई, किसी राज्य में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आई, लेकिन जम्मू कश्मीर एंटर करते मुझे जेल में डाल दिया. अपराध क्या था कि तिरंगा झंडा लाल चौक पर ना फहराया जाए. हजारों पुलिस वाले खड़े कर दिए गए. I think there were more than 10,000 policemen just to stop our yatra to go and hoist the national flag at the Red Chowk. But what happened? Because of your vote and your family members' vote, in 2019, when Prime Minister Modi became Prime Minister again, he abolished Article 370(35)(a). Now, any one of you can go and hoist the national flag at any time at Lal Chowk in Srinagar. बात कहने के लिए छोटी लगती है, बात कहने के लिए छोटी लगती है, और मैं मीडिया के मित्रों को याद करवाना चाहता हूं। मुझे कलकत्ता में किसी ने दिल्ली में कहा कि क्या यात्रा शुरू कर रहे हो 2011 में, कौन आएगा आपके तिरंगे के लिए, कौन आएगा कश्मीर के लिए। आप विश्वास मानिए, इस देश के युवा ने उस बात को समझा कि इंडिया फर्स्ट क्या है, इंडिया फर्स्ट के पीछे भावना क्या है, तिरंगे का महत्व क्या है, अपनी फौज के साथ खड़ा होना जरूरी क्यों है, कश्मीर को भारत का अभिन्न अंग बनाना क्यों है। और वो केवल एक यात्रा, एक तिरंगा झंडा फहराने की नहीं थी, वो यात्रा केवल सेना के जवानों के लिए खड़ी होने के लिए नहीं थी, वो देश के युवाओं को एकजुट करके भारत की ताकत को बढ़ाने वाली थी। आज वही नेशनल फ्लैग जो चंद गज का कपड़ा नहीं, ये 140 करोड़ भारतीयों को एकजुट करने की ताकत रखता है। और ये भारत की भूमि के अलावा आज दुनिया के अन्य देशों पर भी आज कोई एनआरआई हाथ में तिरंगा लेकर चलता है तो उसको पता है भारत के तिरंगे की ताकत क्या है। If you ask most of the non-resident Indians, they will speak to you. If you ask people who travel overseas for the last 20 years, what has changed? The image of India has changed. How the world look at India now. They see hope in India. They see hope in India because India has the world's largest youth power with them, because you are the present and you are the builder of tomorrow. They see hope in you. They see hope in the youth of India. And when they see hope in you, I agree with them, because when I became the Minister of State for Finance in 2019, Prime Minister Modi called me and Nirmala Sitharaman and said, you have to make some changes, you have to facilitate the youth of this country for their startup ecosystem. They are facing challenges. There should not be any Inspector Raj. They should know how to book losses. They should be allowed the income tax exemption and many other such things. And trust me, the initiative Prime Minister took at that time to handhold the youth of this country and give them an opportunity. That is all the youth need today. What they have done in the last 6 years, they have made India proud, because India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world today. We have 107 unicorns today, 107 unicorns. When the major companies in the world were dying and shutting down, collapsing, it was the Indian startups who were acquiring such large companies under their fold. So that is how, when the world was grappling with the problem, how to stay in the system or how to stay relevant, the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us that we have to reimagine our lives. We have to reskill ourselves, we have to reboot, and we have to upskill and upgrade from time to time. It can't be stagnant that we walk out of this IIM Raipur and say, I got a degree, now I'm done for the life. No. You will keep facing challenges with each passing day or each passing year. So I'm sure when you move out of here, not only the challenges you face in the life, but also you should look at how you can contribute. You're not here to just make your career, look after your family. Nation has great expectations from you. You have to dedicate your life for the nation also. So when Prime Minister Modi talks about Panch Pran, 5 resolves, I want you to go through those 5 resolves and please pick up one area of concern where you want to see the change and be the change, because the charity begins at home. जब आप सोचेंगे शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में, स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में, पर्यावरण के क्षेत्र में, किसी क्षेत्र में बदलाव लाना है, तो स्वयं उसके लिए कुछ ना कुछ योगदान करने की शुरुआत करें. I'm sure you're going to make some changes. You're going to make some contributions also. It is very, very important. It is easy to blame others, but it is very difficult to contribute. And things are changing fast, as Mr. Prashar said. From 10th largest economy to the 5th largest economy. But Mr. Prashar, let me remind you, 8 years back, world was looking at India and saying, it is the fragile economy, fragile five. Fragile economy ऐसे कहते थे ना हमें. But from fragile to the first five, it was not easy. But it happened because of good governance, by bringing in transparency and accountability into the system and spend the taxpayers' money in the right manner and bringing out 27% people out of the poverty line in just 5 years period. That was a big, big achievement of the country. You know, when you speak to your counterparts of other countries, and when you give them the numbers, and these my friends who have come from 23 countries, 30 such representatives, when I tell them that India has opened 480 million bank accounts in 2 years' time, they will understand what is 480 million, how do you open those number of accounts? When you say that we have built 35 million houses in just last 7 years for the poor of this country. When you say India transfer 2,000 rupees each into the account of 110 million farmers with a click of a button, and when India transfers, say about 31,000 crore rupees to 200 million plus women accounts by the click of a button, it happens because of Jam Trinity, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and Mobile, because of the UPI platform which has made India proud, and India is the country which has, not only at home this UPI platform has become such a success, but we have recently collaborated with the Singapore. Now people-to-people transfers can happen on our UPI platform and they pay now. That is a great achievement of India in today's era. We all know that Indians have made a mark in the Silicon Valley. Our young students who have studied from IIM, IIT and such prestigious institutes from the country, they are heading many multinationals. Once such person, Sundar Pichai, who is heading Google, was here in India last month. While speaking at an event, informal event for a dinner, he said, I still carry a hard copy of my COVID certificate in the United States. Whereas 1.4 billion Indians have their certificate on the COVID app and they got a certificate online within 30 seconds. What they couldn't do in Silicon Valley, you did it in India. So in the field of technology, we have made some remarkable achievements, but there are a lot of challenges for the future also. When we talk about the future, Works 4.0, 21st century skills and the innovations, these throw many challenges and many opportunities also. We need to look at it whether these are challenges or opportunities for us. And I will remind you one thing, that during the COVID-19 pandemic, it is the Prime Minister Modi who looked at COVID-19 pandemic as an opportunity to progress. Whereas others looked at it as challenge. He said, Aapada mein avsar, Atmanirbhar Bharat. ये सब कल्पना उस समय आई when he opened up, brought in reforms, and what happened? He opened the defense sector for manufacturing, he opened up the space sector, he opened up the coal and mining sector and other sector during the pandemic time. And within a couple of months, less than 12 months, Indian private sector company has successfully launched the satellite from the soil of India. That is the power of youth. If the space sector has been opened some time back, more Indians could have achieved much more. I am sure there are a lot of opportunities waiting for you to grasp. I have a lot to speak, but I won't speak now. I'll take more questions. I'll save my speech for some other day, but I'll take more questions from you so that I can answer what is going on in your mind. so that we can answer those questions. Thank you for listening to me patiently. So shall we take 4-5 questions at one go, then I can reply at one go? Is that fine?
Yeah.
That is better. You understand?
धन्यवाद श्रीमान Anurag Thakur ji. The proceedings start, and I remind you all that this is youth dialogue. So some of my friends who have the grey shades, they are exempted. That's a humble request to each one of you. And the note remains same. Kindly raise your hand. We would see our friends over there in the galleries and alleys. They would come to you with the mic, and then you would be noted on, speak out, and that's what exactly we do. And sir has already pointed to each one of you boys and girls. We'll take 5 or 6 questions in a stretch. Then sir will let you answer, and then we'll go to the second one, and then the third one, and so forth, till the time permits. Thank you, Anurag ji, again. And here we start. I have my friends in the front itself. Lady, can you bring the mic over there on the third row? My friend over there, kindly stand up.
जिसके हाथ में माइक आके दे दो, क्यों आप सर छीन रहे हो? दे दो. Sorry sir, जय हिंद सर.
जय जोहार सर.
Thank you so much, sir. A very warm evening to you. Sir, we had discussed about GDP. Now, question is, Chhattisgarh is best off with a lot of natural resources, but still it ranks very low in terms of contribution to the GDP of the country. What policies you envision for Chhattisgarh so that it can utilize its full potential to participate in the development of the country? Sir, please. It's Dipanji Shukla, sir.
Ma'am, you can just bring the mic to the second question over here.
Sir, Jai Johar sir, Veer Prakash Nishad, research volunteer from Chhattisgarh sir. Sir, my question is, sir, जैसे आपने कहा कि छत्तीसगढ़ हरे भरे पेड़ों से भरा है, प्राकृतिक संसाधनों से भरा है, लेकिन सर छत्तीसगढ़ को बने 22 साल हो गए सर. हम जिस गति से प्रगति करनी चाहिए उस गति से हम अभी तक प्रगति नहीं कर पाए हैं सर. यहाँ कई सारी ऐसे प्रतिभा है जो अभी तक निखर नहीं पाए हैं, ऐसे प्रतिभा है जो विश्व में छा सकते हैं सर. तो आप छत्तीसगढ़ के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, छत्तीसगढ़ के युवाओं के बारे में क्या सोचते हैं, ये मैं जानना चाहता हूँ, ताकि वो अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त कर सके और छत्तीसगढ़ का नाम भी भारत में रोशन कर सके और विश्व में रोशन कर सके. थैंक यू.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Shresh Pranav from Maharaja Agrawal International College. My question is that, sir, आजकल हम जो यूथ हैं, हमारे एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है कि हम अपने कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर नहीं आ पाते. लाइक हमारा जो कर्तव्य है, हमारी जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है टुवर्ड द नेशन एंड टुवर्ड द पीस बिल्डिंग, तो सर हम उसके बारे में कैसे जागरूक हों एंड कंफर्ट जोन को छोड़ के ये सब के पीछे कैसे अपना ध्यान लगाएं. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Jai Hind, sir. My name is Nikhil Chaturvedi and I am from Y20 Engineering College, Raipur. Sir, my question is कि यदि youth को politics में आना है, तो वो क्या points होंगे जो उन्हें सफल नेता बना सकेंगे और सफल सेवाकर्मी बना सकेंगे? क्योंकि देश के लोकतंत्र को यदि मजबूत करना है, तो पॉलिटिक्स में भी युवाओं की भूमिका बहुत ज़्यादा जरूरी है. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन यही था और मैं यह जानना चाहूँगा कि मुझे और बाकी लोगों को किन बातों का ध्यान रखना चाहिए. थैंक यू सर.
Good evening, sir. My name is Vinas Mukanzu, and my nationality, I come from Zambia. I am very proud and very happy to be in this place, especially meeting you as a youth minister. And I was very proud to hear these words, that young people are the present and the builder of tomorrow. And by these words that you say, I have a question, which goes, what are the goals that you would set as a youth minister for the young youth that are the present and the builder of tomorrow, for them to build a good country, a happy country with joy, with peace, with no war, with love and compassionate. And I would say, and the other question is that, as like countries from Africa, we have challenges with our leaders, with our government. We have problems like in terms of development, in terms of peace, and how could you encourage us as youths coming from Africa? How could we develop our countries? How can we encourage our fellow youths as Africans to have a good country or good mind as Indian?
With deep sense of honor and gratitude.
Can you bring my closer?
Okay, sir. With humble sense of honor and gratitude, I, Alex Sali Isya Kubanian, the son of Africa, the citizen of Nigeria, the indigenous of Yobe, I was hailed from Jakusko. It is an honor and privilege to have dialogue with you, sir, as an dedicated, competent, and hardworking youth minister, sir. Before I go further, I'd like to thank, on behalf of Nigeria and Africa in general, I'd like to thank the government of India for providing vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine, for the whole African country at the most Indeed, we are gratitude, sir. Bahut bahut acha. My question, sir, as a youth, I'm always think and I'm worried about one thing. In the year 2021, nuclear Amster spending over 82.4 billion on their nuclear weapon in 2021 during a COVID-19 pandemic, which rising global food insecurity. So as a youth, my concern always in the world is to get better tomorrow, one act, one family, and better future. And many countries, instead of to give repute, to help others, but they are trying to spend billions of US dollars only for their nuclear weapon. As a youth, how can I convince myself that the world is one, the future is one, since every 10 seconds, one child died because of hunger in this world? Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Kabelo Francina Lekawi. I am from a small country, a landlocked country in South Africa called Lesotho, the mountain kingdom of Lesotho. My question to you is, I come from a country inside another country full of crime. So my question to you is, how can you help us as African youth when we go back home to change situations that are back home? How can you help us to empower other people to change who they are, what they're doing, of which it impacts other people's lives badly? Thank you very much.
Sir, ma'am, pass the mic to the one from Syria.
Namaste to everyone. I've learned in India that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means the world is one family. Also in my home country Syria, when a guest visits us, we say Yamit Ahla wa Sahla, which means you are family and you are welcomed 100 times. Syria has been greatly affected by the recent earthquake because it has already been in a 12-year-long war, which we couldn't find a solution for. Even though they are exhausted
the Syrian people, especially young youth, came together to fight for a common goal of supporting each other and rescuing lives after the earthquake at their full capacity. Sir, what are your recommendations to support those youth during this crisis, not to lose hope for the future, because they are suffering to continue and establish their future? Thank you so much.
Sir, should we take more questions or should we end?
Thank you, everyone. And thank you, my friends from Africa, from acknowledging India's help as a friend to our African countries and our African brothers and sisters. Yes, COVID-19 pandemic was a tough situation for any country. And I can vouch for the youth of this country who work as a volunteers with various organizations. Even during the pandemic time, they have come forward to create awareness about the Arogya Setu app, about the COVID app, to distribute the mask, to distribute the food material, food grains as well. So during the crisis time, we have seen the commitment of the Indian youth who have come as volunteers with the Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, NSS, and other such organizations to help others. Well, from Syria, as you said, youth have come forward to save others. Now the one who is already helping others, I think they're strong enough to stand on their feet and make a bright future for Syria. And I'm sure, I've seen in Turkey and Syria when we had the earthquake recently, India is the country, within 12 hours, we have sent medicines and other support to both Turkey and Syria as a friend and as the first responder during the hour of crisis. Now challenges back home could be immense. What we saw during the Arab Spring and otherwise, the challenges faced in that part of the world. And another challenge, what we say in Ukraine-Russia war. India has always took a position, and Prime Minister Modi very categorically said, this time is not for war. This era is not for war. In a democracy, you discuss, debate and decide rather than fight. So I think it's very, very important to understand, as my other friend said, where millions and trillions of dollars have been spent on the nuclear program. On the other hand, when millions of children are dying because of hunger, where is the pact? Two different worlds. One world who is developed, not willing to compromise, not willing to change their lifestyle, but expecting others who have not got even the basic facilities to compromise on that. I think India has become the voice for least developed countries and the global south to raise their voice at that level, and will keep raising the voice of the global south and the least developed countries and the countries who really want us to stand for them. It's very important because if I'll quote one India example for you, both the questions can be addressed on that. If you look at COP21, when major powers, they shied away from taking the responsibility for the climate change and the carbon emissions, and their commitments which they have not fulfilled during the Kyoto Protocol way back in Japan, which happened, and more than 3 decades passed, they did not deliver to that. It is the India who gave the leadership and came out with the International Solar Alliance. Not only gave the leadership, had the headquarters in India, and fulfilled the commitments 9 years in advance. The target for 2030 has been fulfilled by 2021. And at the same time, Mission Life is the lifestyle for environment. This has been given, the idea has been given by Prime Minister Modi to the world, and others have accepted it. So each one of us who want to champion this cause, it looks very small that if unnecessarily light is on or a tap is open or we kept our car engine on, at times we feel nothing is happening. But that is the wastage if it is not required. And even if a country like India, for example, 1.4 billion people, starts saving one drop of water also, we could look at the saving happens. Small changes. We switch off the button TV from the remote control, but if we switch it from the main button, it may save many units for you. Similarly with the air condition, the temperature control, if it is 24, it could save like, all I'm trying to, I'm deviating from my subject, but all I'm trying to say is from Mission Life, all of us have to contribute in the years to come from today onwards towards saving, because if we save more, we have to generate less. So that is another saving. There will be less carbon emissions also. And in politics, you said how youth can come. Why do you want to join politics? I first would like to know. Who wanted to join politics? Please tell me why you want to join politics. No, who raised this question? He should answer.
सर बिकॉज पॉलिटिक्स में यदि यूथ आता है तो लोकतंत्र मजबूत होगा और वो देश के लिए बहुत कुछ कर सकता है, बिकॉज उनके पास ज्यादा टाइम होगा और ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज रहेगी कि वो जो समाज है उसके लिए कुछ कर सके. सो मैं भी इसलिए पॉलिटिक्स में आना चाहता हूँ.
No, I'll be more than happy if you join politics. It needs a lot of commitment. You know, from outside it looks like, oh, they have a position, they have power, they have so and so. But if you look at their lifestyle, if you look at their work conditions, their commitment level, it is at a very different level. But I'm sure more and more learned people, more and more educated people, more and more committed people should come forward into politics. That is very important. Because if we really want to change the system, we need more and more youngsters into the system. I'm glad you said it that you want to be part of it. It's going to be very challenging, but trust me, when you see a smile on the face of someone you have really helped, or a policy you have changed, which brings smile on many faces, आपका जीवन सफल हो जाता है. यही कह सकते हैं. I'll tell you a small incident. और मैं कंपैरिजन इनके लिए जरूर करके बताऊंगा. I'm taking a little more time, but I have to tell this. In politics, you should work on the policies. Then on the implementation part. There are two parts. One is the policy making, and second is the successful implementation. If you make good laws, good policy, but implement poorly, then it is a failure. For example, we made a small change in the bamboo. For example, bamboo earlier is taken as forest. Now, category has been changed to grass. So you are paid better now, you are paid the MSP on that also. And you don't need to go through the forest law. Now, if you look at 50 lakh people, 5 million people are engaged in the bamboo cultivation to bamboo processing to the bamboo furniture to the bamboo products. With just one policy change of Modi government, it has seen a sea change. So that is how policy level. And the second is use technology. How using technology has actually helped to transfer funds, making the system accountable. When Rajiv Gandhi ji used to say that he sent 100 rupees, only 15 reaches to the beneficiary. Today we proudly say we send 100 rupees and 100 reaches to the beneficiary. Only because of the transparent system and the technology being used. So that is one. Second, even if you don't join politics or you join politics, apart than doing whatever I do for my constituency, like I've taken the AIMS Hospital, PGI, Medical College, Central University, NIT, Triple IT, various railway lines to the other roads. But if you go into the detail, if you meet people, you will see what are they looking for. I used to go for school and colleges prize distribution function. I used to stay back for at least 30 minutes to interact with the students. And I used to ask them, how many districts of Himachal Pradesh have you seen? There are 12 districts. I said, how many of you have seen 12 districts? No one. How many have seen 6 districts? No one. How many have seen 3 districts? Out of 100, only 3 hands were raised. So at the class 10th and 12th, or maybe in the first year of your college, you have not seen even more than 2 districts of your state. What kind of exposure do we have? If you travel more, you will learn more. You interact with more people, you will gain more confidence and more knowledge. And remember one line of mine, it will help you in your entire life. Your network is your net worth. Don't miss to make friends, don't miss to know more people. Try and connect with more people, it will help you in life. And travel as much as you can. At this young age, just pick up your bag, don't think about the train booking, bus booking and others, or staying in a good hotel. Stay wherever you want to stay, at Dharamshala also. But it will give you great exposure and you'll know more about your country. So what I did for my students is, I started a program called Sansad Bharat Darshan Yojana. I pick up 50 meritorious students every year and I make them travel to various parts of the country. They meet scientists, engineers, IT professionals, to the ministers, to the Vice President of India. And trust me, when I meet them after 7 days, I see a sea change in them. What they haven't learned in 7 years, they learn in that 7 days of their travel to various parts of the country. Their experience flying in a plane, traveling in a train, learning local language to interacting with various other people is giving them insight where the world is moving. They no more want to just become engineer, doctor or a professor or an army man. They have 20 other ideas in their mind. So that is one I do. And second is, because you want to enter into politics, I am giving some suggestions to others also. I started a mobile medical unit, started with 3, now run about 30. Those goes with a doctor, nurse, lab technician to every new panchayat every day. We have done more than 8 lakh patients free of cost in last 4 years. Reaching out to them, making the hospital services available at their doorstep. All I am trying to say is, it is not important that you have to be in politics to serve. There should be willingness to do something for people. There should be more ideas. You can do it at small scale. You can try and teach 3 students outside this IIM campus. You can go to the nearby village and say, who are the 3 poorest of the poorest families? Handhold them, guide them, spend some time with them. And when they will grow, they will always look up at you and how you have helped them. And if all of us try and do something for someone, I am sure we can make large changes, great change in the system. You talked about Chhattisgarh, someone from here, you got great resources, but Chhattisgarh is not moving ahead. I don't want to make it more political, but all I want to say is, when Chhattisgarh was carved out as a state under the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government way back in, I think, 2002. 2000. It was called a Bimaru state. Now, you have seen 5 governments in between. From Jogi government to Raman Singh government to Bhupesh government. And you have seen the 15 years of Raman Singh government, how it has brought in changes, how it has progressed during that time. So, you got great natural resources which not many states have. But unfortunately, doing the value addition on that, अब rice bowl of the country तो है. What is the value addition? You know, this politics of freebies is not taking us anywhere. We have seen the crisis in the neighborhood, how if you play with the taxpayers' money and just work for the vote bank, by the end of the day it doesn't help you, it doesn't help the state also. So your money should go into the infrastructure building, capacity building, value addition and all that. I'll quote an example why Modi government has this year increased the capital investment in the budget. Last year we hiked it from 5.5 lakh to 7.3 lakh crores. This year it has been raised to 10 lakh crore rupees, 33% hike. At the same time, 9 times more budget for the railway, 2,40,000 crore rupees. If government starts spending in the capital sector, that means the private sector investment will also come, and it will be great opportunities for job creation, a great infrastructure for the 21st century India, to bring in more investments into India. And the FDI, which Prashasab has said $83.5 billion is the highest. And India has got the highest foreign direct investment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Which the point has to be noted that during the pandemic, India was a major attraction then also, and India still remains the major attraction now. It is up to us which states attracts more investment, because it can only come if you have transparent working. If you don't have corrupt practices in the state, you have the resources but the willingness is not there, then nobody can help you. God has been kind towards the state. From forest to iron ore to other material, everything is here. And I am sure Chhattisgarh can do much, much better. And youth like you who have so much of commitment to say कि युवाओं की भागीदारी कैसे हो, युवा अपने राज्य को कैसे आगे लेके जाएं, तो ठीक जगह वोट डालें और अपने राज्य को आगे लेकर जाएं। Forest bamboo की बात पहले की, मैं already added to that how bamboo various facilities we have done. The Panjiri natural resources की बात की थी और बाकी सब ने भी। सुरेश ने कहा था कंफर्ट जोन से बाहर नहीं आ सकते। सुरेश भाई कौन से कंफर्ट जोन में हो, कहाँ पे हो? ये सही है, इस उम्र में मैं अपने बेटे की ओर भी देखता हूँ तो उसका भी यही हाल रहता है, पर ये उम्र वापस आने वाली भी नहीं है। Enjoy it to the fullest whatever you can, but at the same time don't forget where you have to reach, what is your goal. Nobody is asking you to come out of the comfort zone. Be there, but stay committed. We got 24 hours in a day. How much time you want to be in the comfort zone, that you decide. But then decide rest of the time for such other things. For your education, for your family, for your friends, for your comfort zone, and some time for this country. Country for which many sacrifices have been made. Where young people like Bhagat Singh to Chandrasekhar Azad to Rajguru to others who have sacrificed their life so that बलिदान उन्होंने दे दिया, आपको योगदान ही देना है, केवल आप योगदान देते रहिए और देश के लिए जीते रहिए। एक बात मैं आप सबसे जरूर कहना चाहता हूं जो मुझे आजकल थोड़ी ज्यादा खा रही है। आजादी देश को दिला दी, आप नशे से देश को आजादी दिला दी, नशा मुक्त कर दीजिए। आपके कोई दोस्त भी अगर नशा करते हैं तो मेरा आपसे हाथ जोड़कर, एक भाई के नाते कह रहा हूं, एक नेता के नाते नहीं कह रहा हूं, आपके सहयोगी के नाते कह रहा हूं, कोई नशा किसी भी तरह का करता है, आप उसको हाथ जोड़ के कहिए मत कीजिए। It looks good, just a puff. Let's try, let's do this, let's just try it, let's experiment for one day. एक बार होता नहीं भाई, तो कोई टशन दिखाने के लिए गाड़ी के पास खड़ा होता है और फिर वैसे वो भी गिर जाता है भविष्य में। मैंने अपनी आंखों के सामने इतनी जिंदगियां बर्बाद होते देखे और मैं थोड़ा सा भावुक इस विषय को लेकर इसलिए होता हूं क्योंकि जब मैं अपने ही लोकसभा क्षेत्र में पंजाब के साथ लगते एक इलाके में गया अभी मैं एक घर में अफसोस करके निकला था, 23 साल का बच्चा उसका, इकलौता बच्चा, ओनली सन फ्रॉम अ रिच फैमिली, टेकिंग ड्रग्स, he just passed away. I walked out of his home. I was just walking towards my car and got another call that another boy died, who was nearly 20 years old. Their family tried to take him out of the clutches of that friend circle who used to take him for drug abuse. He went through all the process. He was all right. He was supposed to go to Dubai to be with his elder brother, who is his cousin. Just one day before his flight, his friends again came to him and said, let's go. Let's have a last thing in the name of our friendship. एक आखिरी शाम दोस्ती के नाम. ये डायलॉग था. They went to the jungle and he took the syringe. Overdose. Because he came from the rehab center, it worked against him and he died on the spot. And those friends who wanted to spend the evening with him, they left him in the jungle. And look at the parents, what they went through. With this synthetic drugs to other abuse these days, it has become a big challenge. So we have to create more awareness. When I talk to the youth, they say, "साहब बड़ी परेशानी है, तो थोड़ा इसके करने से परेशानी से बाहर निकल जाए." We need a strong willpower. We know how to handle ourselves. It is not taking you out of the problem; it is putting you in the problem. All I want to say is, परेशानियों से भागना बहुत आसान होता है. हर जिंदगी में एक मुश्किल इम्तिहान होता है. भागने वालों को कुछ नहीं मिलता जिंदगी में, लड़ने वालों के कदमों में ही जहां होता है. So keep that fighting spirit within you. Whether it is against the drug abuse, whether it is for any other such area where you see the challenge. Believe in you. If you believe in you, others will believe in you. अपने आप में विश्वास नहीं हो तो दुनिया भी नहीं करे. So my humble request to you, we can take more questions, sorry.
What an inspiring words, compassionate thought. And we continue with the same series. May I request the people to raise their hands. This side, there is a lady. Yeah, please.
आपने भी स्पीच में बोला कि 21,000 स्टूडेंट्स को आपने यूक्रेन से रेस्क्यू किया है, बट हम रोज देख रहे हैं कि हर कोई स्टूडेंट बाहर जाता है फॉर द एजुकेशनल पर्पस. सो व्हाट आर योर व्यूज ऑन दैट? ऑल्सो मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये है कि आजकल का जो यूथ है वो जैसे बहुत जल्दी हार मान लेता है. बेसिकली जैसे वो कुछ अगर नहीं टॉलरेट कर पा रहा है तो वो या फिर सुसाइड की तरफ चला जाएगा या डिप्रेशन में चला जाता है. So, what are your views on that?
We may have one question from there.
Pranam sir, my name is Shubham Tripathi and sir I am from Varanasi and I have seen infrastructural development there by witnessing our core values intact. Similar experience I have had in my 4 years at NIT Hamirpur as well. So my question to you is, how do you believe our past and culture can contribute to India standing out even as it advances on a path to modernization? Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one question.
My name is Sakshi Singh. I am a student of Government Pandit Jwala Prasad Upadhyay College, Patna, District Korea. सर, आपने कुछ देर पहले कहा कि यदि हम देश के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए जरूरी नहीं कि हमें राजनीति में ही आना है. And I am totally agree with you. पर सर, आज की परिस्थितियों को देखते हुए बिना धन और बल के सामने आना असंभव सा प्रतीत होता है. और दूसरी चीज़ ये कि हम हर क्षेत्र में युवा को लाने की बात करते हैं, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि अभी के समय में युवा को ही फेस करना सबसे मुश्किल है, क्योंकि अभी के टाइम का युवा यदि उसके पक्ष में कोई बात कर रहा है तो उसके लिए बहुत अच्छा होता है, लेकिन उसके अगेंस्ट में जो बात करे वो उसके लिए ठीक नहीं होता। मैं आप अपने क्वेश्चन को एक एग्जांपल के थ्रू क्लियर करना चाहूँगी कि 21-22 में जब हमारे क्लासेस 3 to 4 मंथ लगे और सडन फिर से कोरोना वापस आ गया, और उसके बाद हमारे 3 to 4 मंथ स्टडी के बावजूद जब कोरोना 1 मंथ के लिए आया और फिर जब क्लासेस स्टार्ट हुए, एग्जाम का टाइम आया, तो लोग डिमांड करने लगे ऑनलाइन एग्जाम के लिए, और वो उच्च शिक्षा विभाग तक चले गए और लास्ट में उनकी बात को उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट भी कर लिया, ऑनलाइन एग्जाम भी हुआ। लेकिन मेरे नज़रिए से यदि आप देखें तो वो सही नहीं था, क्योंकि 3-4 महीने स्टडी हुई थी और वैसे भी ज़्यादातर लोग लास्ट के 2 महीने में ही पढ़ाई करते हैं। तो इस टाइम में जब एक बहुत बड़ा संगठन जब सामने आ जाता है तो वहाँ पर उनको फेस करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है। तो उस वक्त आप कैसे सामने आए और उस वक्त क्या करें आप?
Thank you, ma'am. Here's it is. Please, sir.
ये पहले वाले महीनों में क्या करते हैं अगर 2 महीनों में पढ़ाई?
Sir. Yes. Yes, please ask.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening. Myself Dr. Abhishek Agarwal. I'm an orthopedic surgeon and I have come here from King George's Medical University, Lucknow. First of all, I want to thank our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji for being beside with us and providing us of the resources to its best of its capacity during the COVID-19 time so that we serve the people all around us. And my question is, with a story of just 30 seconds, my own real sister lives in Seattle, US. And after 7 to 8 years of infertility, she got conceived in the month of December 2019. And meanwhile, she developed some bleeding per his annum. Okay, मतलब जहाँ से मल निकलता है वहाँ के रास्ते से उसको कुछ bleeding शुरू हुई. And the health system in US is very robust. It's very orthodox kind of thing. And उसको पहले जीपी को दिखाना पड़ता है, फिर वो स्पेशलिस्ट के पास पहुंचने में 2-3 महीने लग जाते हैं. Believe me, on 24th March of 2020, we got the news that after getting biopsy done, and it was found to be a cancer of intestine, and she had got a baby of 15 weeks, 3 months baby in her womb. Now, हम लोग के लिए बड़ा मुश्किल टाइम था कि कैसे भी करके we just get कि हम कैंसर को निकालें किसी तरीके से, and just forget about the pregnancy, how precious it may be, but we just wanted to get rid of the cancer. And believe me, during that period of 15 days of sleepless nights, of crying nights, we just collaborated, communicated with hundreds of doctors there, but all of them refused that कि नहीं, यहाँ का सिस्टम बड़ा orthodox है, we cannot intervene, we cannot let you the thing, and they were saying कि नहीं, अभी कैंसर है, we cannot perform the surgery because the COVID is full blown or COVID is a major threat, so we cannot. So at the same time, when they cannot do the surgery of the cancer patients or the life-threatening the diseases, at the same time we were managing both. We were managing COVID in its full-blown time, and we were managing the cancer and other life-threatening diseases here in India. So as a doctor, as a surgeon, I want to thank our Honorable Prime Minister and the government to provide us that strength so that we can manage both the things. And with this, I put forward my question is that when there is so much of hurdle there, still the mainstream of our youth, the cream of our youth, जो भी हमारा cream है youth का, वो यहाँ पढ़ाई तो यहाँ पे करता है, but they don't want to get settled here. They want to get settled in US, UK and that western part of world. Even my brother-in-law, he doesn't want to come back. Now my sister is okay, उसकी सर्जरी भी हो गई और बेबी भी है अभी, but still, why our youth are not?
आपका सवाल ये है कि अभी भी उनको बाहर जाने की होड़ क्यों लगी रहती है? करता हूँ उसको कर
Yeah.
Okay, thank you ever so much. My name is Ishmael Washington. I'm a student of Kalinga University. Question, I want to say that there's a perception about us, youth, that many believe
that we are agent of conflict or agent of mass destruction, but that we believe that it is 100% wrong. To every reaction, we think that there is something that triggers it. For example, let's take for instance, the government, provides certain funding, right, to an individual who's supposed to represent people at the grassroots. And then that particular person took that fund and used it for his own individual use. Or we said corruption. Definitely, that alone can trigger violence. And if that trigger violence, it usually comes from the youth. So will you say that we are youth, we are violent? Or again, we look at violence against human rights, right? These are things that trigger violence. But we are youth today. We can tell anyone that the perception about us, that we are agent of violence, we are agent of conflict, agent of mass destruction, is very wrong. We believe that we are agent of peace, and we are agent of advocate for social well-being and social economic for our own situation. So my question comes now, with these things that were trigger violence, we have the lack of self-confidence. You as a youth minister, right? What can you provide for us as youth to build us confidence that we can stand firm in society? And we can say that with this self-confidence within us, we think that we can do something positive. Next question is what? Inadequate.
Sir, I will request you. Kindly keep the questions brief. Maybe I have one question over there before sir take the questions.
Okay. So the next one is just inadequate employment opportunity for we as youth, right? So you can also look at that and see what you can do, on your own jurisdiction to help us to make our strength from it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Wait, sir. Wait. There. Be fast. Sir.
Very good evening, sir. It's Alexa Singh. My question is, what are the essential ways to create or to facilitate the global consensus on conflict prevention and peace building? Thank you, sir.
Over to Anurag. Can you repeat the question?
So my question is, what are the various ways or essential steps to facilitate or to promote the global consensus on conflicts, preventions and peace building? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sir,
Hello,
would you
sir.
like to take more questions? Or? Yeah, we may have one. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
सर नमस्कार सर, मैं घनश्याम दीवान बस्तर ब्लॉक से हूँ सर, और मैं युवदय का वॉलेंटियर हूँ सर, और हमारे बस्तर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 7,000 वॉलेंटियर्स हैं, स्वयंसेवक हैं सर। सर मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि आप सभी के द्वारा यहाँ पे सुने हैं कि बस्तर नक्सलवाद क्षेत्र है, वहाँ पे बहुत हत्याएं अन्य प्रकार की घटनाएं होती है, लेकिन एक चीज़ मैं आप सभी को बताना देना चाहता हूँ कि हमारा बस्तर भी एक पर्यटन संस्कृति और कला से निकलता हुआ बस्तर अभी बन रहा है। सर मेरा सवाल है सर कि बस्तर को या फिर पूरे भारत को, विश्व को शांति स्थापित करने के लिए व्यवहार परिवर्तन, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य कितना असरदार साबित होगा सर, मार्गदर्शन कीजिए।
We may have one question over there.
Yes, sir.
White
Yes, sir.
shirt, yeah.
Okay. My name is Samuel Yoa from Liberia, Kalinga University. My question is very short. Like you said, youth is the future. We always hear this, term youth is the future, leader, youth is tomorrow. But then in government we have officials, older officials that are over 60, 70 years old, still in position. And it's an honor to be in your presence. You embody the true ideology and personality of a youth minister. You're a young person. You understand the ills and difficulties we youth go through. So my question and why you have to say to us youth like government, what can they do to be able to incorporate more youth into government and have a time limit on how long an older person or age group can be within a government? Thank you.
Thank you. And as you truly said, it's a time limit. So over to Anurag.
My dear friends, you know, if you look at most of the questions, either from the friends from Africa or from friends from Bastar to other places in India, there is a big question which arises, as you rightly mentioned now, that is youth the future? I said it very categorically that you are the present and you are the builder of the future. Because youth, being the largest stakeholder, they have to be a part of the nation building process, whether in India or abroad. Africa and India had similar kind of freedom movement. Our leaders, our public fought for number of years to get freedom. Now who will come and fight for you? It is our responsibility to build our nation. Don't expect it from others. It is us. It is our country, and we have to stay committed towards it, and we have to contribute towards the better future. That commitment should come from within. And I'd like to say a couple of lines in Hindi for all of you. कि कितनों की तस्वीर बदलनी है, कितनों की तकदीर बदलनी है तुम्हें, कितनों को रास्ते पर लाना है तुम्हें, अपने हाथों की लकीरों को मत देखना, इन लकीरों से भी आगे जाना है तुम्हें. So don't keep looking at the fate line of your hand. We have to build the future of our country. And it can't be with remaining self-centered or looking at your problems only. The world is looking at you to become the problem solvers, to come up with solutions. So I'm sure we're going to do that. And education abroad. See, on one hand, you have such fine example in front of you when our friends from Africa or other parts of the world, they have come and they're studying in India. There are many Indians who are going abroad and studying abroad as well, from US, Canada to UK to Australia. Now we have to work here also on our higher education system. I'm sure many such good universities are also coming forward, looking at our IIT, IIM and other such prestigious institutes. The numbers were less in the past, but in the last 8 years, from 15 IIM to it has gone up to 23, 16 IIT to it has gone up to 24. Look at the medical colleges, from 580, it has gone up to 890 medical colleges. Look at the number of AIMS Institute, it was 7 in 2014, it has become 22, it's going to be 25 in next year. So we have progressed well in the last 8 years. It's not that we have not, but yes, in such a large country, it will take some time to go to that level. And if you look at those institutions, those are about 300 years old, 200 years old, 400 years old institutions. Here also, if you look at our institutions, they have progressed very well. If our education system was not right, then how come so many such individuals have done so well in life and they are heading the such big multinational companies? We have started spending more on the research. There is more focus with the new education policy. There is more. It's a more liberal program also, so that you can change in between. You can adopt such other courses. मैं तो अपने जितने मेरे दोस्तों के बच्चे हैं, बाकी सबके देखता हूँ अपने परिवार में भी. बहुत सारे तो डॉक्टर बन के पॉलिसी साइड पे आ गए, बहुत इंजीनियर बनने के बाद कुछ और करने पे चले गए. सो ऐसा नहीं कोई एक चीज पे चला. तो बहुत सारे डॉक्टर्स हैं जो आज कोई IAS, IPS, IRS ऑफिसर्स हैं. मैं पूछता हूँ मैं डॉक्टर पे 5 साल 6 साल क्यों लगा दिए? किसी और की सीट भी खराब की आप लोगों ने. अब जो बन गए उनको पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन की सीट्स पहले जब उसको भी राष्ट्रपति ने उसको डबल कर दिया, PG सीट्स को भी डबल कर दिया, मेडिकल सीट्स को डबल कर दिया. थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग फास्ट। दूसरा यहाँ पे साक्षी ने कहा कि धन और बल के बिना कुछ नहीं होता। कुछ हद तक मैं सहमत हूं साक्षी, कुछ हद तक नहीं। बहुत सारे लोग हैं जिनके पास बल था ना धन था, लेकिन विल पावर थी, जिसको था कि नहीं मुझे आगे जाना है, तो उसे दुनिया की कोई ताकत नहीं रोक पाई। और मैं छोटा सा उदाहरण बताता हूँ। मैं जब इंफॉर्मेशन ब्रॉडकास्टिंग का मिनिस्टर बना, मैं बॉम्बे गया, इन सब डायरेक्टर से मिला, मैं करण जौहर वगैरह सबको बुला के क्या चैलेंज है फिल्म इंडस्ट्री। ऐसे में साउथ इंडिया में कर्नाटक, तमिलनाडु, हैदराबाद सब जगह पे सोच में कितना फर्क पड़ गया था। हमारी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री के लोग, किस क्षेत्र के लोग कहां पे सोचते हैं, कईयों को लगता है हम ही सब कुछ थे, ऐसा नहीं। टाइम के साथ इवॉल्व कौन करता है, टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग कौन करता है, लोग चाहते क्या है। कंज्यूमर को सर्विस इंडस्ट्री में नहीं जानोगे कि वो चाहता क्या है तो आप फेल हो जाओगे। एंड लुक एट हाउ थिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड। You have seen recently how films with the content creation, it is not the mainstream films, but is the regional films which have become national then international. What Prime Minister says, from local to global, films like RRR has made mark at the international level. So nobody can stop you. It is not the region, it is not the dhan or bal, it is the creativity, it is what you believe in yourself. If you make the right product and you are on the right path, nobody can stop you in this world, nobody can stop you. Because today, if you look at, it is not the newspaper or the television channel which empowers you to create something or create a news. It is the online platform also on which the creativity can take you to any level. तो टेक्नोलॉजी आज एक बहुत बड़ा साधन बन गया हम सबके लिए, कुछ ना कुछ कर दिखाने का। और हमें इसमें बिल्कुल नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि धन बल वालों का होता है, कुछ नहीं होता जी। ये भी कभी जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं थे, जो आज धनवान और बलवान बने हैं, ये अपनी मेहनत के कारण ही वहां पर पहुंचे हैं। आपको भी कोई साक्षी नहीं रोक पाएगा, इस समय साक्षी है। अगर आप मेहनत करोगे तो कोई नहीं रोक पाएगा, ना धनवान होने से ना बलवान होने से। तो ये मेहनत करते रहिए, उस पर सोचिए मत। और लेकिन लास्ट 2 महीने पे मत रहना भाई। I met couple of Padma awardees today. अजय जी से भी मिला। क्या इन लोगों ने कभी सोचा होगा पद्मा अवार्ड पाना? आप पिछले 7-8 साल की लिस्ट उठा के देखिए पद्मा अवार्ड। I can challenge anyone in this country कि शायद पूर्व में कभी ऐसे लोगों के बारे में सोचा भी जाता था कि पद्मा मिले। It has become people's Padma today because they have contributed towards the subject or the area they believed in. कई बहनें ऐसी जिन्होंने लाखों पेड़ लगा दिए, सोचा थोड़ी था कि कभी पद्मा अवार्ड लेना है। पर्यावरण के लिए काम किया, कईयों ने सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप के साथ काम किया। लिज्जत पापड़ बनाने वाली 7 महिलाओं ने 80 रुपए लोन पे लेके पापड़ बनाने शुरू किए थे। आप कह दो हिंदी में पापड़ बेलने शुरू किए थे, लेकिन आज ऐसा है कि 48 लाख पापड़ एक दिन की बनाती हैं और 1600 करोड़ रुपए का धंधा एक साल में लिज्जत पापड़ की 45,000 महिलाएं करती हैं। तो साथी यहाँ कहाँ धन और बल आया? मैं इसलिए उदाहरण दे रहा हूं कि ऐसे आपको 36 उदाहरण मिलेंगे। स्टार्टअप्स में देख लीजिए, आपको ढेरों ऐसे मिलेंगे जिनके पीछे कुछ नहीं। भवेश अग्रवाल के दोनों माता पिता डॉक्टर हैं, विजय शर्मा के फादर प्रोफेसर है, रितेश अग्रवाल OYO वाले का देखो क्या हाल है। अब आप इन सबकी बैकग्राउंड में जाओगे, कोई बहुत संपन्न परिवार से नहीं आया, लेकिन क्षमता के आधार पर आगे बढ़े हैं। ऐसे बहुत सारे क्षेत्रों में बढ़ा जा सकता है। बाहर जाने की होड़, आप क्यों नहीं बाहर गए? दीदी चले गए।
अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, बिकॉज दैट इजी लाइफ इज देयर।
देखिए, ये होड़ ऐसा नहीं कि होड़ नहीं, निश्चित तौर पर बहुत सारे युवाओं के मन में रहता है बाहर जाएंगे बसेंगे, लेकिन मेरा विश्वास मानिए, जितने बाहर जाने वालों की होड़ है, आज उतने की ही भारत आने के लिए भी दौड़ है। And India has the capacity and the capability to create the world's largest skilled force, skilled manpower. And that is why in today's this year budget also, we have kept provision to train lakhs of youth in the area of future work, from artificial intelligence to coding, 3D printing and others, so that they should be trained for the future skills. There will be 30 Skill India International Center which will be coming up in the entire country, 3 Center of Excellence for Artificial Intelligence, and similar kind of courses. 47 lakh youth will get stipend over a period of next 3 years in various sectors. So ऐसा नहीं सरकार भी उस दिशा में काम करिए, भारत सरकार का काम इसी तरह से राज्य की भी कर रही होंगी. Now one of my friend who Shubham I said from Banaras that he has seen the sea change in the infrastructure. Now one can claim it is the Prime Minister's constituency, but that is not the case today. In 2014, India used to build 12-kilometer national highway per day. Today we build 39 kilometers national highway per day, more than 3 times a day. Or in 2014 we used to build 3 kilometers of railway line. Today we build about 8 to 9 kilometers per day. We have doubled our national highways, more than doubled. Even the rural roads have been doubled. But what I would like to add to your question and answer your question in a way, he talked about the rich cultural heritage of India, how we can build upon that, how that can be not only a sense of pride for us, but also an area for job creation and the self-employment. And I think rightly so the Modi government has done so. Out of the 5 resolves, the Panch Pran, the second is Gaurav-Shali Itihas par Garv Karna. We should be proud of our rich cultural heritage. And now how that has changed. हमने दिव्य और भव्य सोमनाथ धाम बनाई, दिव्य और भव्य केदारनाथ धाम बनाया, दिव्य और भव्य काशी विश्वनाथ धाम बनाया, दिव्य और भव्य महाकाल लोक बनाया, और अगले साल दिव्य और भव्य अयोध्या धाम राम मंदिर भी बनाकर यही नहीं, हमने हेमकुंड साहब के पहाड़ों तक रोपवे पहुंचाया, बौद्ध सर्किट बनाकर बुलवाया, हमने करतारपुर कॉरिडोर खोलकर अपने सिख भाइयों को जो 75 सालों में नहीं मिला, वहां साथ रोड, रेल, एयरपोर्ट, पोर्ट्स, ये सब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना है. And if you look at the numbers today, at Somnath, Kedarnath, Kashi Vishwanath to others, the number is at least 4 times of the visitors who are visiting these places. That means you need more rooms, you need more restaurants, you need more dhabas, you need more shops, you need more food items, and there is more job creation at the local level. It is no more only the religious places. From आस्था से अर्थव्यवस्था के केंद्र भी बने हैं. From religious places to the place of economy and revenue generation, it has emerged today, and that is the way forward. That is why one of the resolve in those 5 resolve ways, गौरवशाली इतिहास पर गर्व करना, विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए, ये भी एक बहुत महत्व आएगा. अच्छा हुआ आपने बनारस का उदाहरण दिया, आपका धन्यवाद उसके लिए. आपने कहा आप हमीरपुर कब आए भाई? NIT में थे आप. We have a beautiful campus of NIT Hamirpur, and please come back sometime. We'll meet you someday. कुछ रह गया इसमें से उत्तर देना? और एजेंट ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट और मास डिस्ट्रक्शन. लाइट पकड़ लेंगे. ये कहाँ रोज रोज मिलने वाले? You know, on the peace building and the conflict mass destruction, such topics have come. How many of you have visited Northeast? मणिपुर, मेघालय, जो वहां से आते हैं वो मत हाथ खड़े करो। अब सबके हाथ नीचे हो गए, दो के हाथ रह गए। At one time they used to say कश्मीर जाओगे तो ये हो जाएगा, if you go to Northeast this will happen. What has happened? Now one of my young friends from the NSS or NYKS, he said, look at बस्तर। महेश गागड़ा जी, बस्तर की खूबसूरती आपसे ज्यादा कौन बता सकता है? सबसे चौड़े वाटरफॉल से लेकर सबसे खूबसूरत जंगलों से लेकर नेचुरल ब्यूटी की अगर हम बात करें तो बस्तर में अपार संभावनाएं हैं, बहुत खूबसूरत है। लेकिन नक्सलवाद ने बस्तर की खूबसूरती को ग्रहण लगाने का काम किया था। आज मैं कह सकता हूं कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में भी, कश्मीर में भी इंसर्जेंसी इंसिडेंट्स 80%, 80% से कम आए हैं। सिविलियन डेथ 85% कम आई है। ये कब हुआ? जब हमने पिछले 8 सालों में पीस टॉक शुरू की, एग्रीमेंट शुरू किए। And let me say it in English. We have done the discussions, we had the peace talks with the insurgent groups, and in the last 8 years, we have so many surrenders across the country where these insurgent groups, Ulfa to others who used to take ransom and used to threaten people because of the terrorism and the insurgency incidents, 80% cut in those insurgency incidents in the last 8 years, which is a great sign. All I have to say is dialogue matters. In a democracy, you have to sit on the table, discuss, have a dialogue, have a debate, and then decide. And finally, when you decide, you come to the conclusion, it is not the bullet, but the ballot which matters in the democracy.
Thank you, sir.
Admission दोगे IIM में?
Ancient civilization and the youngest democracy. We are vibrant. As sir said, just sharing with you, when 2015 July, Modi ji initiated Digital India, India was ranked globally 122 with respect to data consumption, and last February, within a short span, now we are the world's #1 data consuming country. That's the strength of India. We consume more data put together US and China. They are much behind us, and yes, it's true. It's difficult for me to say, but yes, it's a time to sign off. It's time to say thanks to our great guest of the day. I just take a quote from Adam Grant, who says, too many people spend their lives being beautiful descendants instead of good ancestors. The responsibility of each generation is not to please their predecessors. It's to improve things for their. It's more important to make your children proud than your parents proud. Thank you.
I would like to thank Parasha sir, and I would also like to thank our Honorable Minister Anurag Thakur sir for the wise words. I'm sure this discussion will help channelize the youth of this country to be the best version of themselves and also encourage them to play their part in the Indian growth story.
So we strongly agree that the strengths of today's efforts will bring clarity for tomorrow's future. I would now request our Director, Professor Ramkumar Thakani, to please felicitate our Chief Guest, Honorable Minister Shri Anurag Thakur. To kindly felicitate Shri Pankaj Singh, Director, Department of Youth Affairs.
like to request all the foreign delegation who has come here from different parts of the world for the Y20 consultation event to please proceed to the stage for a group photograph with our Chief Guest, Honorable Minister Anurag Thakur, sir.
Foreign delegates. International delegates, please come on stage.
I would like to request the international delegates to please come to the stage. Thank you.
So we should leave the book.